heck is this? Is it a virus? Is it something wrong with the very design of these products? What's going on?
Yeah, it's an exploit in the software, and this one is this is different to normally because this affects what's called the kernel with a K, not like the colonel that looked after Elvis or the bloke from Kentucky Fried Chicken. And the kernel is the central control system, the central software of any Apple device. And what they've discovered here is a couple of vulnerabilities in that code. Now, vulnerabilities happen all the time on all kinds of devices. Some of that is down to lazy programming. Some of that is down to hackers and other individuals finding errors and finding flaws and looking for holes. But on this particular occasion, this had been discovered. Apple believed it was being used by groups or state actors. So at this stage, people like myself or yourselves probably weren't at risk, but it was highly likely that if you were somebody that, let's say, intelligence communities and people were looking to try and get into their phones, this hack and this leak may have already been in place. So by updating your phone or your device, your tablet or your computer, you instantly patch these two problems. So if it's asked you, your Apple device has asked you to do an update in the last couple of days, go and do it. It'll take about 10 minutes, and that'll fix these particular flaws. But this will not be the last time you hear of something like this, and that's not necessarily because Apple are lazy and make poor programming code. It's because there's now a constant battle between the good guys and the bad guys, simplifying it to the clearest, the easiest possible level, on getting into our devices. Because what would you rather do? Would you rather go and try and assault somebody in the street for their wallet, or would you try and take the money and their data and all of their information from a phone, potentially without them even knowing, for a number of hours or days?
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's it. I mean, Mark didn't get the alert, did you?
Yeah, I'm just looking at
But he updated anyway.
Yeah.
I did get the alert and haven't updated. So I'm just going to ask you, very fundamentally, what should anyone do who's got an Apple product at the moment? How do you plug in for an update?
Well, you go into if you haven't had the notification, you go into settings on your device, and then you go into the general area of settings, and there's an option called software update on the Apple device. If you go into there and click in there, it will show you that the update is available for you to download. It's available at the moment for Apple iPhones. It's also there for the iPad, and it's there for certain models of Apple computers, laptops and iMacs. Only the latest version of software actually uses similar software to the mobile devices, which is why it has to be updated. So those are the ones that are currently being updated. It's actually good practice if your device ever tells you to update the software to go ahead and do it. And regardless of what phone or device you're on, if you're on an Apple device or on an Android device, one of the Google phones from companies like Samsung or Sony or tons of other different companies, every month or so, just go into your device, find out in your manual, or go online, find out how to do it, and then go and find out what the software update is. Because every time you update your software, you're actually incrementally fixing all of the problems that the developers may have found. So there may have been other bugs or other ways people could potentially have nefariously got into your device and done stuff with it, and that will patch it up.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my phone. 15.6.1 is the iOS or operating system which you need to have, and it says it's up to date, so it's done it. But as I said, my phone hadn't actually alerted me, even though I've got automatic updates on. But it begs the question, when you pay all this money for these devices, and they're supposed to be state-of-the-art, and, you do your best by updating, they've still got these gaping holes, barn doors open that let the hackers in. Why is that? What's wrong with the systems?
I think you're being slightly unfair to the people who create the software and technology.
When you pay all that money?
Yeah, I do, because these devices were created a number of years ago. The software is updated by thousands of different people at these companies. It's not just the companies looking for the errors and the flaws. There are other individuals. There are hackers. There are groups. There are organizations. That can be anybody from GCHQ in the UK to a hacker group in North Korea. It could be anybody looking for these holes to exploit the technology. When there's a billion or plus Apple devices now in the hands of people around the world, it becomes a very attractive prospect to find any kind of information about the type of person who holds it. So that is going to happen, and it's just going to be a tit-for-tat battle now. Unfortunately, now we're in the digital age. This is what we're now going to face. It's a constant battle between the company that makes the kit and the people who want to exploit it, and that's going to happen forever. That's not going to be something that's ever going to be beaten. If a company comes out and tells you guys that there is an unbeatable piece of technology, I would look at them and say they're a liar, because there's always going to be ways to exploit technology.